The baptism that was meant to cleanse her sin forced her to live with a demon for years. The film begins in 2015 at a remote church where a baptism ritual is being carried out for a young woman named Elise, who is believed to need a second purification to erase a grave sin she committed in the past. The ceremony is attended by the congregation, and at first looks like a normal religious service, but it is slowly revealed that their practices deviate from true Christian teachings because in every baptism they summon the spirits of those they consider holy to guide the soul that is about to be cleansed. The solemn atmosphere turns tense when Alma, one of the church's leaders, arrives with an order from the elders instructing that Elise must be baptized by invoking the name of LaRue, and the moment that name is spoken, all the candles in the room suddenly go out. Within seconds, Elise's body seems to be pulled by an unseen force into the baptismal water, causing panic among the congregation. The pastor struggles to lift her back to the surface, but from Elise's own perspective, she sees a woman in a pink dress with a horrifying face staring directly at her.
Eleanor Golding. Patricia Whitlock.
Enter heaven by using your body.
LaRue.
The story then jumps 10 years later and shows Elise living what appears to be a normal life as a painter who pours her emotions into her artwork, accompanied by her boyfriend Adam, who patiently stays in the relationship even though Elise always refuses any physical touch without being able to clearly explain why. Adam remains by her side not out of desire but out of genuine love, understanding that Elise is still suffering from memory loss and only knows her own name, and that she once lived in a church dormitory without any knowledge of her family or her past, as if her entire life history has been erased. As time passes, strange symptoms begin to appear. Elise often behaves as if she is not herself and once unconsciously digs into the ground in their yard until Adam has to stop her. This condition leads Adam to take her to a psychiatrist.
Honey? Honey, hey, stop!
I can't live like this. Every time I wake up, I've either totally humiliated myself, hurt myself. I haven't had any issues with my memory for 10 years.
Although the doctor suggests intensive treatment, Elise refuses because she does not believe she is insane, but rather that she has lost fragments of her memories that should have been part of her life. From that consultation comes one possible solution to restore her memory, which is to return to the church where everything began, the only place she can still remember, in the hope that the environment there will trigger the return of her lost past.
Close to thinking about the hospital until this improved.
What?
Yes.
No, I can't do that.
I'd like to try an alternative form of therapy.
People, names and faces, everything is just blank.
There's a reason why you can't remember much of your experience. I think you need to tackle this at the source, from where your trauma began. I found some healers from your old church.
Even though the place holds a bitter truth because she was once expelled from it, Elise chooses to go back rather than be confined in a mental institution. And Adam, as a loyal partner, decides to accompany her no matter the risk. The next morning they prepare for a long journey, but the trip does not involve only the two of them because Elise also invites her best friend Gwen, who is happy to help and support her. The journey to the church turns out to be far more exhausting than they expected, as it is located in a remote mountainous area surrounded by dense forest and far from any settlements. During the long trip, Elise has already arranged a meeting with two healers who are believed to be able to help restore her memory.
Healers are confirmed, 7 p.m. sharp in Haventon.
Elsewhere, the story shows Alma and her son Hiram, who turn out to be the very people Elise is looking for. Alma's family has long been known for their ability to treat psychological and spiritual disturbances, a skill passed down through generations. And now, Hiram assists his mother as her aide. However, they stopped practicing long ago, as if a dark event in the past forced them to withdraw from the world and refuse to take any more patients. When Hiram learns that the one seeking their help is Elise, someone they clearly know very well, he tries to persuade Alma to accept her. He believes that what Elise is experiencing now is connected to a mistake that happened in the past. But every time the past is mentioned, Alma reacts sharply and tells him to stop talking about it, as though those memories are wounds that have never truly healed.
Morning, Mother. New patient.
We no longer perform the service. End of the matter.
She was so pretty. A kind girl. It's Elise. Elise Decker. Because it was my fault that she...
Silence!
Meanwhile, Elise, Adam, and Gwen finally arrive at the church that has existed only as a faint fragment in Elise's memory. Its location in the middle of the forest confuses Gwen, and Elise explains that the area was once a lively settlement before a massive flood destroyed all the buildings. Strangely, among everything that was ruined, only the church remained standing without a single sign of damage. As Elise and Gwen enter the church to look around, Adam, who stays outside, accidentally discovers a locked door leading to a basement. Inside the church, every corner Elise sees triggers faint flashes of a past she once lived. She walks from room to room searching for something familiar until she finds a drawing with the names Clara and Elise written beneath it. Just above it is a small box containing an old photograph. The moment she touches the photo, fragments of memory begin to return, though not yet completely clear. As she leaves the room, she hears a soft whisper and sees the figure of a woman standing in front of her, but the image disappears in an instant. Elise then shows the photograph to Adam and Gwen, explaining that Clara is someone who was very close to her in the past, and that, for some reason, that face keeps appearing in her visions. That night, Hiram still comes as promised, even though he initially intends to do it without Alma's help, but unexpectedly, Alma changes her mind and decides to join him. Because there is no place to stay, Elise and the others set up tents around the church until Alma and Hiram arrive. The meeting is awkward, as Elise does not recognize either of them at all, even though Hiram once had a very close relationship with her in the past. Without wasting time, they prepare to begin the healing process. Hiram tries to explain the stages of the ritual, but Elise already understands that the method involves a concoction that can take a person into their subconscious. The purpose is not simply to cause hallucinations, but to force the deepest layer of the mind to reopen the memories that have been locked away.
You must be Hiram. We've been texting. I'm Elise.
You don't remember me. We will go gather our equipment. We'll meet you inside. You have been through so much.
These blackouts are ruining my life.
In the ritual, only Elise and Adam drink the mixture, while Gwen remains fully conscious to accompany them. As their awareness begins to fade, Hiram guides them to follow the voices that appear in their minds. Elise once again sees herself with Clara, but in this vision, Clara behaves strangely and says that someone will come. Suddenly, Elise's body reacts in an unexpected way. She vomits blood, something that should not have happened at all, and everyone panics. Seeing the anomaly, Alma immediately takes control, using Elise's blood to draw a symbol on her stomach combined with a strand of her hair, and then performs an expulsion ritual. Not long after, something resembling a snake comes out of Elise's mouth and melts into a thick black liquid before forming into a terrifying figure that is only briefly visible in Elise's vision.
Elise, get one out of her! Get out of her! We must get it. Silence! Vessel of Heavenly Father. Righting or wrong?
When it is all over, Elise regains consciousness and feels her body much lighter than before. The next morning, Alma says that the disturbance that had been inside Elise should no longer bother her and advises them to leave the place immediately. Instead of immediately leaving the place as Alma had advised, Elise feels as though something is holding her back, urging her to stay a little longer. Physically, she feels much healthier, yet her memory has not fully returned, and being in the church slowly brings back fragments of her past more and more frequently. The memory that surfaces most often is about Clara, a woman who clearly once meant a great deal to her. In a moment of honesty, Elise finally admits that their relationship was not just a simple friendship, but a bond rooted in deep romantic feelings. This confession deeply hurts Adam, as he finally understands why Elise has always kept her distance and refused his touch. His disappointment turns into a heated argument, and Elise, overwhelmed, walks off into the forest to calm herself. In the silence of the woods, Clara's figure appears again, as if guiding her toward a pile of stones. Elise dismantles the stack and discovers a key, which seems to be an important clue to her past. Meanwhile, Gwen, left alone at the tent, begins to sense that something is wrong. For the first time, the strange disturbances do not affect only Elise. Gwen sees the figure of a woman entering the church and, driven by both curiosity and unease, follows her inside. However, when she reaches the interior, no one is there. Only a slowly moving door catches her attention. Using a match for light, Gwen sees the same drawing Elise found earlier, except now there is a snake-like symbol beneath it. Suddenly, the door slams shut and locks on its own, followed by faint whispers that sound clearly right behind her.
Hey!
Fortunately, Elise and Adam return just in time after hearing Gwen's screams and manage to get her out. The disturbances are far from over. Outside the church, they discover animal carcasses hanging around the area, a horrifying sight that convinces them the place is no longer safe. They decide to leave as quickly as possible, but once again, something seems to prevent them from doing so. Their car suddenly refuses to start. Hiram comes to fix it after being contacted, and before leaving, he reminds Elise not to ignore the warnings he has given her. He explains that the spirit that was expelled from her body the night before is now free and capable of doing anything. Yet even this warning does not change Elise's decision to remain there a little longer in hopes of recovering her lost memories.
Someone's fucking with us. It's definitely the battery. Someone must have left the lights on last night.
We could call Hiram.
She removed the spirit that was living inside you. It's free now. You should clear out of here.
Elsewhere, Alma is overwhelmed with guilt, realizing that her actions have released something that should have remained imprisoned. In her despair, she nearly takes her own life, but Hiram arrives just in time to stop her. It is then that Alma finally reveals the truth she has been hiding. The spirit that was expelled from Elise's body is LaRue, a woman who was once known as the most devout member of the church and the leader of the young girls there. Behind her pious image, she secretly practiced witchcraft and used the girls as victims in satanic rituals. When her crimes were uncovered, she was captured and executed, but before her final breath, she swore she would return for revenge. On the night of Elise's baptism, the pastor was supposed to call upon a Holy Spirit to guide her soul, but out of fear and a grave misjudgment, Alma ordered that LaRue's name be invoked instead. Unknowingly, LaRue's spirit truly came and became trapped inside Elise's body for years. The ritual Alma performed to help Elise turned out to be the greatest mistake of her life because it freed LaRue from the prison that had held her all that time. And now, when the moment has come, the entity will return to claim Elise's body as its new host. Alma's confession is cut short when LaRue appears without Hiram realizing she is there and takes Alma's life from behind, marking the beginning of the true terror.
The witch grows stronger and will reclaim its host, a devoted member of the church. The spirit we removed, LaRue, came upon all that remained of the young girls. LaRue taking revenge on the church. Witch would claim her as a host. It was me who gave the witch's name. No.
That night, as they remain around the church while the atmosphere grows more and more suffocating, a bitter truth is finally revealed. By accident, Elise overhears a conversation between the two people closest to her, Adam and Gwen, who have secretly been in a relationship behind her back. Adam had actually planned to leave Elise once she fully recovered, but Gwen is unwilling to wait any longer. Those words shatter Elise instantly, and she runs into the forest, her heart filled with anger and heartbreak. In the middle of her escape, the memories that had long been scattered begin to return piece by piece, fitting together like a puzzle that finally forms a complete picture of her past. The grave sin that became the reason for her second baptism is finally exposed. Elise is a lesbian, and she had been in a same-sex relationship with Clara. Their relationship was not just emotional closeness, but had gone far beyond what their community considered acceptable, something viewed as deeply improper. One day, Hiram caught them in an intimate situation, even though he himself had been in love with Elise. Driven by jealousy and disappointment, he reported what he saw to Alma. The incident became a massive disgrace for Elise's family. Her father was furious and felt humiliated. Without giving her any chance to explain, Elise was forced to undergo the baptism as a form of purification and was then cast out by her own family. From that moment on, her life changed completely.
I love you. I love her, and she loves me.
The young girl said you bullied her into it.
Please don't do this to me.
I want you out of my house.
While Adam and Gwen try to search for Elise in the forest, LaRue's terror begins to haunt them. Gwen, overwhelmed by fear, tells Adam to check the area around the tent, but she herself flees with the car. Meanwhile, Elise feels as if something is calling her toward the basement door, and the key she found earlier is indeed the one that opens it. Inside the basement, she encounters Clara again, who asks her to dig into the ground. When the soil is unearthed, the buried bones are revealed, and they turn out to be Clara's remains, and Elise's darkest memory finally resurfaces. In a burst of hatred, feeling that her life had been destroyed and her family had abandoned her, Elise was the one who took Clara's life, and LaRue's long presence inside her made the act even more brutal. That realization comes at the same moment LaRue appears in her true form. Elise understands that since the night of the baptism, years ago, the entity has been living inside her, and now the time has come for LaRue to take over her body as a new host.
Hello, Elise. I missed you. Dig!
Dig!
What is it? It's a bone. That is most certainly a skull.
Aren't I pretty? I'm sorry for what I did. Do you hate me?
No.
Elise, what are you doing?
What did I do? What did I do?
LaRue will not allow anyone connected to these events to survive. Gwen becomes the next victim when she sees Elise standing in the middle of the road, and within seconds, she is killed.
Elise, please.
Elsewhere, Hiram, who returns to the church, is forced along with Adam to witness how LaRue completely merges with Elise's body. They are trapped with no way out, and Hiram becomes the next to die.
Flesh give birth to flesh.
Elise is no longer the woman Adam once knew. She has become a merciless demon who slaughters anyone in her path, and Adam is the last person to fall at her hands.
Adam.
Please.
1 month later, Elise is seen leading a baptism ritual for young girls in a church, as if repeating the same ceremony that once ensnared her. Unaware of the true purpose behind it, those who come seeking purification are in fact being gathered into a new cult created by Elise, offered as sacrifices, proving that the cycle of terror has never truly ended and the story comes to an end.